E.N.D here, day 4 and penultimate day for the spoilers of Doctor Who. Even though we are in the last couple of days of spoiler season of this new Universes Beyond set, still there are a couple of cards worth discussing. Anyway, let's start. And I want to start with some reprints. Wizards of the Coast will never release a new set without reprints. Carpet of Flowers from Erza Saga, an interesting reprint from a very old set. Growth Spiral, very strong card. Think Twice, Search for Tomorrow, Farseek, Beast Within, and Cultivate. Some popular characters, starting with Nardole, Resourceful Cyborg for 1 and 1 blue, 1/2. Tap, add 1 blue mana for each counter on it. Spend this mana only to cast non-creature spells. Undying, Doctor's Companion. And if you don't know how to play Doctor's Companion, I did a tutorial explaining this particular mechanic, how it works. Osgood Operation Double, 2 and 2 blue, 2/2. When you cast the spell, create a token that's a copy of it, except it isn't legendary. Tap, add 1 colorless mana, spend this mana only to cast an artifact spell or activate an ability of an artifact. Paradox, whenever you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, investigate. Auton Soldier, 4 and 2 blue, 0/0. You may have it enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield, except it isn't legendary. It's an artifact in addition to its other types and has my raid. The Flood of Mars, 2 and 2 blue, 3/3. Island Walk. Water always win. Whenever the Flood of Mars attacks, put a flood counter on another target creature or land. If it's a creature, it becomes a copy of the Flood of Mars. If it's a land, it becomes an island in addition to its other types. Sisterhood of Karn, for 1 and 1 green, 0/0, enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it. Paradox, whenever you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, double the number of +1/+1 counters on it. Tijaran Witness, for 1 and 1 green, 0/4, flash. Bear Witness, whenever another creature dies, if it was attacking or blocking alone, exile it and investigate. Carvanista Loyal Lupari, 4 and 1 green. It's a creature with an adventure. Lupari Shield, for 1 and 1 green, sorcery. Humans you control gain indestructible until next turn. It's a 5/5 with Vigilance, Trample, and Haste. Whenever it attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on each human you control. The Master Gallifrey, and 2 1 black and 1 red, 4/3. Make them pay. Whenever a non-token artifact creature you control dies, you may exile it. If you do, choose an opponent with the most life among your opponents. That player faces a villain's choice. They lose for life, or you create a token that's a copy of that card. Also here, if you don't know how to play Villain's Choice, I did a tutorial explaining this particular mechanic, how it works. The Master Multiplied, 4 1 black and 1 red, 4/3. My raid. The legend rule doesn't apply to creature tokens you control. Triggered abilities you control can't cause you to sacrifice or exile creature tokens you control. The Master Formed anew, 1 blue and 1 black, 0/1. Body Thief. When you cast the spell, you may exile a creature you control and put a takeover counter on it. You may have the Master Formed anew enter the battlefield as a copy of a creature card in exile with a takeover counter on it. The Master Mesmerist, for 2 1 blue and 1 black, 3/3. Tap. Target creature opponent controls with power less than or equal to the Master's power gains Calc until end of turn. Goad it. Whenever a creature with Skull deals combat damage to one of your opponents, put a +1/+1 counter on the Master and draw a card. Razilon the War President, for 3 1 blue and 1 black, 3/4. Add dipping for your upkeep. You lose to life and exile the card of your library. You may play that card as long as it remains exiled. Each non-creature spell you cast from exile has Conspire. The Rani, for 1 1 blue 1 black and 1 red, 3/4. Whenever she enters the battlefield or attacks, create a red aura enchantment token named Mark of the Rani attached to another target creature. That token has Enchant Creature, and enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and is goaded. Whenever a goaded creature deals combat damage to one of your opponents, investigate. Cursed Mirror, for 2 and 1 red, artifact. Tap, add 1 red mana, enters the battlefield. You may have it become a copy of any other creature on the battlefield until end of turn, except it has haste. Start the TARDIS, for 1 and 1 blue, sorcery. Surveil 2, then draw a card. You may planeswalk. Jumpstart. Doomsday Confluence, X and 1 black. Sorcery. Choose X. You may choose the same mode more than once. Each player sacrifices a non-artifact creature. Create a 3/3 black Dalek artifact creature token with menace. Each opponent discards a card. Snuff out 3 and 1 black instant. If you control a swamp, you may pay for life rather than pay the spell's mana cost. Destroy target non-black creature, it can't be regenerated. Delete X and 2 black. Sorcery. Delete deals X damage to each non-artifact creature and each player. The Sound of Drums. For 2 and 1 red, enchantment aura. Enchant creature. Enchanted creature is goaded. If enchanted creature would deal combat damage to a permanent or player, it deals double that damage instead. For 2 and 1 red, return the Sound of Drums from your graveyard to your hand. Great Intelligence Plan. For 1 blue and 1 black sorcery, draw 3 cards, then target opponent faces a villain's choice. They discard 3 cards, or you may cast a spell from your hand without paying its mana cost. Last Night Together. 3/1 red and 1 green sorcery. Choose 2 target creatures, untap them, put 2+1/+1 counters on each of them. They gain Vigilance, Indestructible, and Haste until end of turn. After this main phase, there is an additional combat phase. Only the chosen creatures can attack during that combat phase. The Monument. For 2 generic mana, legendary artifact. At the ring of your upkeep, put a time counter on it. 2. Tap. Untap target creature control. It phases out until the monument leaves the battlefield. 3. Tap. Destroy each non-land permanent with mana value less than or equal to the number of time counters on it, then sacrifice the monument. Activate only as a sorcery. So that was the last card in this particular day 4 and penultimate day of the spoilers of Doctor Who. Join me again tomorrow for the last day of the spoilers of this new Universes Beyond set. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more and more interesting videos about Magic the Gathering and the collectible world.